care to share like your viewpoint, I guess?
Yeah. So I was saying, I think I've said it on here as well that I disagree with bits what Dame was saying. His delivery, 100%. I would
100% disagree with his delivery.
Yeah,
he's getting that, man.
I mean, that kind of like is
attacks personal.
Yeah. And it's like life don't work like that. Like, in terms of like, go be a boss. Not everyone can be the boss. Like,
yeah, not everyone.
I kind of disagree with you on that to some degree.
Go on.
I think you should aspire to say. In fact, you don't even have to. Not everyone has to do that. I agree with you on that point. You don't have to. But I think Dame comes across as like, just go and be a boss, and I don't think that's the reality of it. I think you have to put your graft in certain places, but at some point, I mean, depending how good or able or unique possibly you are in whatever field you're in, at some point, I think you should go away and try and make it yours and increase the value and get more of it.
Sure. And
because
what I'm saying.
Whatever job we're doing, Matt, we're all have a value, or we wouldn't be getting paid. We're contributing to somebody else's grand vision,
and your remuneration is always less than what you're.
It has to be.
Yeah. And I was saying that's cold, that's sick, and that would be like the goal, or whatever, for some people. But then that comes with a lot of hard work. You said graft. Not everyone wants to do that as well.
A lot of people can't afford to.
Not everyone wants to do that. So being signed to a label or Spotify, whatever, they're doing a lot of things for you as well. So some people can't be bothered for like, they just rather it come to them easy. It's like I was watching a Drink Champs episode. I think the Locks was on there, and it was. I think Jada was like, "Nah, fuck that. I want to be on a label." Or Styles, and Styles was the opposite. You remember?
Yeah, I've heard a couple.
And it was like, "Nah, if I could do my own thing, I'll do it." But then it was like, it's bare.
I hear that. Yeah, I just feel like it's kind of like easy way out.
It's like, the label's just fucking you, or Spotify just fucking you. They're obviously doing stuff for you, whatever. So
I would say that being on Spotify, whatever, if you're a musician,
like,
they're not really doing much for you.
Shit on man because they're signed or something like that. And
no,
I don't think you shit on man. No,
you can, and I think what Budden's doing, Dame was probably a little bit different. But what he's doing is trying to show man light, innit?
Shift it, innit?
Asking Charlemagne, like, you've been the #1 radio presenter.
Bro,
are you being paid enough? Simple. It's a simple question.
Like, bro, let's be honest. In the Breakfast Club, he's the A side, isn't it?
Yeah.
He, like, the Breakfast Club in the past 10 years has become a thing. It's become
it's an institution.
The #1 urban, it's even exceeded just being urban to some degree. Platform across the world. Charlemagne often rattles off how many territories they're #1 in and whatnot. Bro, bare of that is down to you one. You should be getting more from it.
Alright, using the Breakfast Club as an example. I think. Do you not think that they know that? That Envy knows that. Charlemagne knows that. He knows that.
Yeah, but I think there's an element of fear.
It's knowing that.
I think
there's an element of fear
because I feel they move away. Is it still the same? Is it still the Breakfast Club? Is it the same impact?
But then I think that's
what feel the same about it.
I think that's what Joe is saying is that you have to. There is fear, and you can't deny that. But you also have to take the leap and the risk that if we step away from this and take Breakfast Club somewhere else, or us three somewhere else, we're still going to be because like Rich is saying, everyone watches Breakfast Club, one for Charlemagne, but for the chemistry those three have and the stuff that they do. So if we take that from iHeart or wherever they are to somewhere else, they got to believe that people will follow them. I've been looking at the comments, and it's just one or two people saying it or whatever. But people are saying, I only signed up to Spotify so I can listen to their podcast. But now I'm going off. When they come off, I'm signing off.
Bro, like, even they're like, I'm kind of, the whole thing's kind of made me a little bit anti-Spotify. I've been with Apple Music for time, but I've had Spotify for certain shows or whatever. But like, Rogan's on there now. His stuff is still on Apple. I'm listening to it through Apple at the moment. Because I'm just like, I'm just kind of almost in a weird way. I feel like I'm supporting the movement. Because they kind of hustled, man.
I'm here for ownership, all of that. But I'm not. We don't know their deal. We don't know what.
No. I don't think we have to though. If Mike, if man say we're gonna get signed, and this is us not being signed, but if man say, oh, raw, Dan's on another podcast, we want the rights to what Dan's doing. Every time Mike kicks ball, we're making this. Every time Les Buzz and you play a crack, we're doing this. Like there's limits, man. You can't take everything from man, and that's what it sounds like. Because he said they're basically walking away from a fuckload of money unimaginable. Yeah, they ain't seen that money before. But you can't lose. Like people, there's like a little analogy. People say, oh, if you work 24 hours of every day, if I'll give you £1 million, would you work? If I give you £1 million, would you work 24 hours every day? People say yeah. Like you actually can't. Like, I'm asking for too much.
I'm still torn, man.
And I think that's what it is.
I don't think you should look at it as that they're a deal, like they're schmucks, like they could go do their own thing.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
because they know that
accepting the deal.
10 years, they all do other things on themselves which they own. Yeah. Do you not think they've had that conversation?
So I think they possibly would have, like, but now more than ever, it's probably like striking a chord with them more so than when it might have been an idea because they were out here before Joe Budden in this kind of podcast entertainment space. He's usurped them and gone clear now. So Charlemagne's probably thinking, how have I allowed that to happen?
I don't think it's necessary because if you look at Charlemagne, he's starting to. He's got his book deals. He's got 2 books. He's got his own YouTube channel now where he does his own interviews.
Which is recently started.
Which is recent within the past. I'm going to say 18 months at best. I think he's starting to realise that. I wouldn't be with the Breakfast Club specifically. I think he may be in some way aware of his power, and if he were to leave, that the show is not going to, and he's got his own thing. I think in a way he may be trying to lift the rest of the team, so to speak. But I think, and I'm sure I heard MV saying like their deal ends in like December or something.
See, that's going to be when it gets interesting. See what they do.
So I think the 3 of them, they've been doing their fucking things through Zoom. They could just walk away and figure it out. Someone else will give them that money. Somebody else will try and buy that platform. They can make more for doing the same thing, which is a no-brainer to me.
And which is what Joe's alluding to.
Yeah. Like I can't. And for me, anyone that says Joe is wrong is incorrect for me. I can see your point of view where you're like, it's not for everyone, and I don't think it is for everyone. But especially when you're, for Charlemagne specifically, when you preach black business and you're supporting black business and you're only wearing these man's t-shirts and buy black and so much more.
But your most well-known IP isn't even yours.
Yeah.
But they've got other things.
But again, that's a deal. Like as I said, it's coming to the end of that deal. Let's see what they do now.
See what happens then, and then
they do have things there.
Like the thing is, everyone just thinks that it's so easy to just pack and leave and do your own thing.
It's
like, go do that.
At the end of it, like, your contract is easy to. Like Mike, I'm trying to think of another way to put it to you, bro. If I'm the star player of this team, give me the most money.
As football players demand.
And if I'm exceeding, this is another thing that just pisses me off. If you say Richard's gonna score 25 in a season, I score 30, or even if you score goals, you get a match bonus, right? Goal bonus, sorry. Bro, I've exceeded my shit, and you offer me Rolexes.
That's stuff that you're taking man for kids.
Bro, you're taking man for dickheads. And it's not like you've set the targets and said, exceed this, you get this. When it's actually come around to it now, he said, you know what, bro?
I can't find the data.
My boy's got this old Rolex and like, bro, all kind of dumb shit. And then, Joe also reiterates that the reason they went to Spotify is because they wanted the metrics. For whatever reason, podcast data is very hard to find.
It's weird,
isn't it? It's very weird.
And to be honest, of the platforms that I guess we're on most, but of like the biggest ones, be it SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spotify is the one that probably gives you the most relevant metrics. SoundCloud, I'd say, comes after, and Apple Podcasts, you can kind of figure it out. But
via SoundCloud almost,
it's almost like they put it there and it's there, but you have to figure out what means. So that's I can understand why he went over, because he even said that he wanted to. They had a title deal on the table from Jay, and he was like, "Can we get the stats and the metrics?"
Jay said,
like,
"Nope."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
And Joe said he was vexed.
Yeah,
But he respected it because Spotify basically done the same thing. They said yes. Then when man signed the deal,
Yeah.
What he said
on
was
the thunder.
very shitty was that they had a bonus written in the contract or something like that, and they just changed the rules and said no.
Bro, we can't be moving.
All of that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Yeah, when you are under someone, they can do these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's like for everything.
And I think one thing, and it's probably a side thing from all of it, but I think, and one thing he kept saying was, he spoke to someone, or someone said something to him, it's a rapper, I can't remember the name, and he said, he basically said, don't let them think what most people think about you. Don't make them think Joe's bad for business. So I think he was alluding to that's part of the reason why, when I guess they didn't give them the bonus that they were promised or was in their contract.
They tried to do that with Complex as well, innit? Basically, like Joe Biden's been removed for Complex, and now he's fucking up shit with Spotify.
So he's like, that happened, but he didn't say nothing. He just said, it's on your contract. That's what it was. He said, cool, we're in a contract till this date. You aren't going to give us our bonus. Fine. Can we get something else in exchange? They was like, yeah, fine. Then it was like, no. So I think for him in particular,
all of that,
people,
that's a big thing.
that plays a part in it. But yeah, deal wise, I'm not against it. If it works for you, then great. And you can work out a deal with whoever, and it'd be the best deal ever. But if I get the chance to own something that I've built and I can get good money from it, I think I'm always going to choose.
So this is it for me, yeah? So initially,
I'm always going to choose to own it.
You have no contacts, you don't know how things work, but there's loads of benefits that the label, whatever, can offer you.
Yeah.
Wait.
But like Joe and Breakfast Club, now, they're probably in a position, but they know how everything works. They can do their own thing, innit? But for everyone, that's not it.
I'm saying with Joe Budden, they knew what their audience was to some degree. They knew how many listens or clicks or views or whatever they were getting before. They just wanted more metrics on it. So you know your value already in signing that deal. You know that. The thing is, this is the thing. They're not signing you. They're signing. This is I think the thing that a lot of people don't take into account. You buy a new player at a football team. It's for the chairman or whoever. Yeah. They're looking at it as money. Yeah. This person is going to bring us more money, not because he's cold. It's not because he's cold.
It's like, I look at it like Ji-Sung Park at United, Son at Spurs. They're tapping into
a different market, right?
Different market that isn't even in the country.
We done it as well.
Isn't even close. They're just thinking about the shirts. They're thinking about the shirts they're gonna sell. Great, we've got this player. They might be decent. They might be world class. But yeah, like Richard's saying, it's outside of. So they're signing technically. They're bringing that audience to Spotify's platform, and they kept making the point of what other media do you know that keeps you on an app or somewhere for 3 hours, 2 hours,
DSPs, they call it, isn't it?
Nothing. Unless you're watching a film, and films aren't usually that long unless they're a special release or whatever. They aren't that long.
Yeah, you might have product placement in the film.
Right.
Yeah, you might have a car deal like James Bond, or you might drink a Heineken. But like a podcast, it's different. It's a man talking to you. You're in a relaxed setting.
Yeah.
Like that's why the recommendation and affiliation stuff in like podcasts is massive, and that's like how Spotify are eating.
Yeah.
It's like advertising.
Like, podcast definitely unique, especially in like most of the content we consume with like your TikToks, your Instagram Reels, and most of the shit is at max like a minute. Podcasts are the complete opposite in that for that reason. But yeah, man, you just have to. I just don't see why you wouldn't want to own it. It's the way I look at it. It's like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to own it? And especially, sorry, Dad. No, go. He goes, Joe Biden's like, I'm getting M's from this, from Revolta, from this.
He said.
Bro, like I do this at work. If I'm getting, I have different rates for different clients. Bro, if X wants to offer me more P for this day, and other person, bro, fuck off, I'm there.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Yeah.
So why would you? And like, I guess the shifts are the same or whatever. Why wouldn't you? I mean, I really mentioned that point to say it shifts somewhat once you start seeing it coming from other places. Obviously, you're in this deal, so let it play out. But bro, once that deal's done, or I guess in this case slightly prior to, bro, let's renegotiate. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
And I think, as like going back to Mike's point, it's the kind of what comes with those deals. So one of those clients might say, Rich, you got coffee on arrival, you got someone massaging your feet, you got the taxi home, whatever time you want. Oh, we might take you to a nightclub, lunch is cool. And then the other one might say, oh, there's this money, but you have to do all of that for yourself. I think that's it's the safety net in it, having this big label. But once you're past that, or you're not scared of falling,
that's the thing. So once he goes for the less money, but he gets to know the person that's massaging his feet, he gets to know the person who's bringing him the coffee, he can then create his own relationships. So that's what I mean. For them, it's cool. But like going back to what Dame was saying, it's not everyone.
Yeah, Dame saying everyone start a cookie business or start a barbershop.
Dame will have you unemployed real quick. If you go by Dame will have you unemployed real quick or talking to your boss.
That was the main part that I was like, Torrance, not everyone's in that position, in it.
I agree with that because practically, it's not everyone has.
Not everyone wants to
idea
of
this is my passion. I'm gonna do this to make money out of it.
Yeah.
But then I do believe in what Rich is saying. It's about aspirations, man. Because that guy who is the manager, that guy who created this, that guy created that woman that has that service, that business, like they are people in it. So all they did is think, I want to be that, and they got there, innit? But not everyone thinks that way.
Yeah, because then it's on you to maintain it.
Yeah. Also, like somewhat, and this is the part that I agree with you, Mike. It's kind of like know your limits, isn't it? Somewhat. And it's that like I'm not against. Like sometimes I think, if you don't have, that often if you don't have this, it's because you can't afford it. Is often the assumption, or you don't do this, it's because you can't do it. Or maybe I've realised that I don't like doing that, and you just kind of know yourself, which isn't a bad thing. So if that is the case, so sometimes people use that as an excuse. I'm just not on that. But know yourself and. Why not?
Voice, that downtrodden voice.
It's not on it.
Something like Eel.
It's not. It's not all bad, but I have no problem with Joe Budden negotiating. Some people might have a problem with the way he's doing it. No, I think it sheds light and it's causing a lot of people to think about their own things they're working on.
Spotify must be feeling like shit.
They should be rattled. I think they released some kind of statement.
They got bare emails.
I think they released some kind of statement.
I think I see
also, by the way, no, it was beyond that. It was so we talked about. Well, I said it at the start. They wouldn't let them get like Christmas and that off. They wouldn't really let them take holiday. Also, Joe's dad, I believe he died from COVID.
I don't think he passed away.
Oh, he didn't die.
No.
Okay, I know he went to hospital. I thought he died.
Not that I know.
I'm not entirely sure on that.
He didn't say in that episode.
But
I don't think
like, bro, man are going through possibly or life-changing events. Fuck off. Like they were. It sounds like Spotify was like, if we're the CEOs, man, someone needs to talk to Joe. Mike, will you chat to Joe? Dan, I beg you chat to Joe. And then Les picked up the phone and telling man how to work from home and fuck off. I'm going through shit. Just leave it. Like that kind of shit, more than anything, would make me be like,
it's a job, isn't it?
I'm not on it. Yeah, but I need respect from my employer. I need respect from my employer. Cool. That's an absolute must.
Yeah, I think if you listen to that bit, that will make you hate signing with anyone.
Well, we're not.
I think in what Mike is saying, I agree that being a part of something that's bigger, a bigger machine, can help. It's beneficial, but I think it's important that you make it beneficial for you, and don't just run up in a building and they're gonna say, we're gonna offer you 10 grand to do
the first deal.
10 grand to do an episode. Every Saturday morning you guys are recorded for 2 hours min. Every Saturday, regardless of what you got to do, and you'll be like, 10 whatever, cool, we'll sign. But
I need compassion in my things.
So.
And I think people are there now as well. Like bare rappers from the 90s would be like, their first deal they all got shafted.
They got bumped. They all got shafted.
But then you get to learn it, innit? Learn the business.
And I think even like as experienced Joe, like he kept saying, I've come from hip hop. Like all his deals have been shaky. His podcast deal is probably one of the first. I think he said him and Amy Schumer.
Spotify's first,
The exclusive. Sometimes you got to step in a building, see what it's saying. Like you're gonna sign a deal, and it's not a lifetime deal. It's gonna end at some point. You see how it is in a building. If it comes towards the end of the deal and you don't really like what's happened, just leave it.
You got to do the Dave Chappelle thing sometimes.
If you're cool and you manage to renegotiate and you like the terms of the renegotiation, then you put that pen to the paper and you sign again. Otherwise, it's all learning. That's what you can ever see it as.
Do you not think they're gonna re-sign him? The podcast.
Spotify.
Yeah.
I think they'd be foolish to let him go.
I don't think they're gonna sign him.
But then all of this, what he said the other day is
I feel like they...
And he said, he has said, this doesn't mean that we won't work together.
Yeah.
He has.
Which I respect.
Which is cold. It's mature.
Give me a better deal.
I
don't think they're gonna sign him though, only because they've got Rogan in, which apparently they've spent too much P on.
No, but if you look at it,
the conversion.
He's underpaid. They gave him 100 mil.
100 mil. I believe it's a 4-year contract. Apparently it's undisclosed.
100 mil, and then their share price
how
went
mad
up a billion. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like he probably said like, maybe give me.
He probably could negotiate
Wow,
that as well. But I think they spent. I know they spent a lot on him, and apparently Michelle Obama's got a podcast coming, which exclusive to Spotify as well. So I just honestly think they probably don't have the budget. So I don't think they're going to. But I would.
He brings, man.
I want to see.
It's the return.
I want to see, because here's the thing with why I think it's kind of a win for Spotify. They've signed them already. Most people are cancelling their Spotify subscription or not listening to Spotify now. So they've
Listen, a lot of comments I saw.
I'm making an active effort to do that. But like the buy-ins already happened. You've already signed up. You're listening less, I suppose, if anything. But it'll be interesting to see where they possibly go. Yeah.
September the 24th.
I think Apple need to step their podcast game up.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Breakfast Club end of the year.
When Charlamagne, I was looking for the Brilliant Idiots episode from this week.
Nothing.
Oh, they didn't say nothing.
No, there's no episode. There's no episode, bro. I was, you keep scrolling, like refresh.
Age, I was like,
nothing.
To go to the drawing room.
Nothing.
Rethink the
Him
whole
and
thing.
Schultz, working out an angle.
I'm probably looking forward to that. I like that like little podcast beef is cold.
Yeah, things trying to get in it. I know Lesnar's Gilly the Kid.
Joe keeps mentioning Gilly.
$1 billion worth of game.
But there's
I watched that podcast now.
I think they're part of Barstool.
Yeah, they might offer. Apparently they got bags.
Yeah, I think Joe said they offered them money.
Barstool's thing's shaky, man. Their voice. It's a bit weird, man.
Yeah.
Like the angle's weird.
Barstool just sounds very niche, to be fair. It just sounds like man.
It's a bit like sporty, but how they speak on certain things, and then there was like a couple like racial.
They're a bit brash with how they did it.
Yeah.
It sounds very fratty to me.
That's kind of the voice. It's that Lad Bible, but a bit more turned up. It's
odd to say, but the Joe Budden podcast is a little bit more polished than that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like a natural
fit.
But then again, Gilly and them, man, they just probably took the bag, innit?
They'll do something like Revolt or something.
Possibly,
It makes sense. If they did something with Revolt.
It's intriguing. So watch this space.
Watch this space thing. Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Not
to
long to go now.
I
was watching it with my girl yesterday, and she was saying, do you think they're gonna see out the contract, or the next? I'm like, the way he's moving.
See out the contract
to the 23rd.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm like, blood. This isn't good for Spotify though.
Oh, I think it is good for Spotify at the moment. I think more people are watching it now.
Possibly there's that
but it's short term.
PR.
Yeah.
Fuck me, like every 2 hours of him kicking them around.
I rate it, man. I rate it.
On their platform.
They shouldn't care though.
On their platform.
The people are still like they're getting what they. You see what I'm saying? How
listeners
from time you own it, you kind of always win. It's like it's almost like a no.
I think the brand's taking a kicking, man.
I think it has again for upcoming people who are looking.
Like long term, this isn't good. Like right now, you might be getting the listeners. But then for your podcast who's 17 or 15, might be like fuck you lot in the future.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's mad.
Watch your space.
I think they bank on, I guess, newer podcasts, or most people just want in the bag, and Spotify can give you the bag, or Apple can, or whoever can give you the bag. So unless it's you've got to give us a kidney or a liver, most people will put pen.
Still gonna be that.
Most people will put pen to that paper.
So Spotify come to us tomorrow. What are you saying?
They ain't coming to us. Because we're on their platform already. This is why I said this to you.
Nah, but they do stuff to blow you up, get much more listens or whatever.
It depends. If they want your rights and they're going to tell you that you can't watch Arsenal games and shit like that, it wouldn't be worth it, would it?
No.
Exactly. So it depends what they have. Depends what they come to man with.
Talk to me nice, man.
Talk to me nice, bro. It depends what they have. Like if they they offered you like 4 mil, but you can't watch Arsenal for the next 3 seasons. Are you in? 4 million.
It's not worth.
So it's more than $1 million a season.
They ain't seen our style football fan.
Send that back. Yeah, feel like, how about we change that?
You can't watch ball for 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's wild, but
that's not even wild.
Let's be realistic.
To get 4 million for that is nothing. You're not doing anything.
But that's not realistic.
It's unrealistic. But all I'm saying to you is it's crossed your line, innit? So you have to tell them fuck off. That's what you have to do sometimes, bro. Know yourself. Know thyself, man.
Yeah, it all
Enjoy.
all depends what's on that paper.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, of course.
It's more than just the money. Yeah, that's what Joe said, isn't it?
It's more than that, bro.
They don't know what to do when
you don't take the money.
Yeah, that's literally that's what they have for you, man.
try more, like, a little bit more. Yeah. So it's a good case study still.
Oh, it's brilliant.
The results are the most important thing, man.
Yeah, such a good episode.
Yeah, I hope they don't fall by the wayside because.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. They've been doing it for far too long. And they're like, people reference them in raps and shit, probably getting on Joe more than anything. But they, like, from everyday culture, from when Joe was on it, to the Bottom podcast, to the Come Up, you're now starting to see, the pull up, sorry. You're seeing spin-offs of that. I see there's a UK thing called the Check Up with Chucky.
Yes, I see that recently.
It's the UK version of that. So yeah, I think Joe's here for a minute, and he's engineered it in a way. Like his whole rebrand, fam, never seen anything like it.
Bro,
never seen.
I think it's the part of the battle is just to keep going, because Joe Budden, like Joe Rogan, actually, they were both like doing their thing quietly from early. Them man were doing their thing in chat room forums and all of that. Yeah. Joe Budden had Joe Budden TV way back in the day. So it's just keep on going, man. Build your audience is building regardless. So, let's see how it develops.
He's saying it's more than the bag.